So, you guys went on a little trip this weekend. What
Yeah.
did you do?
So we went to Pennsylvania for a friend's wedding, and wedding was on Sunday. So we drove up Saturday, and we actually left a little too early. Like we couldn't check into the hotel until 3, and we were gonna arrive at like 1 o'clock or something. So we took a little detour to Taylor Swift's hometown because it was like an hour away from where we were going.
So was this like mid-drive? You were like, "Oh, we're gonna get there too early. Let's
Yeah.
let's off course. Let's go do something."
We
Well,
thought
so
traffic
so we
would back
traffic
us
would
up to
slow us
that.
down a little bit, and there was traffic, but I actually was taking time off. I was driving, so I like actually time had been taken off somehow, some way.
Daniela, were you
And
speeding?
obviously, I'm always speeding, but I wasn't speeding that much. But like we figured, like there would be like something that would back us up for a little bit, and somehow we managed to still take time off and we were getting there even earlier, and we were like, what are we gonna do? Like, just sit in the parking lot. And
So
we
did
had
you
Dolly
guys
with us.
know? But did you know that Taylor Swift's hometown was like somewhat close by that you could still do that?
No.
No, we looked up like Hershey Park and stuff, but that was like, how much was it? $60,
Hmm.
and it wasn't gonna be like a whole day thing. We didn't know if it would be like worth it to do it for like a couple hours, and we had Dolly with.
Yeah.
So then, um, during the drive, I really like Pennsylvania, so I was just like name like every once in a while I would spew off something and like that's a pro from Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
And Taylor
Daniela
Swift,
is now like she's moving there.
a Taylor Swift song came on, and I go, pro for Pennsylvania, they have Taylor Swift.
So
So
that's
we
And
what
looked it
then
started
up.
the idea.
Yeah.
yeah, so then we looked up like how far away it was from our hotel, and it was like an hour away from our hotel, and I was like, but what if we just like change our route right now to go straight there? And it still added like almost an hour, but that was fine because we were really trying to kill time.
Yeah. So what did you think of Taylor Swift's hometown?
Um, it
It
was
wasn't what I
good.
expected, I don't think.
We didn't do too much there, mainly because we were getting a bit stressed out with how narrow the streets were and that there's like only street parking everywhere.
Mm.
So we ended up like out more in the country area, just driving around on the roads. But we went on a little hike with Dolly.
Yeah, we stopped off. There was little stop offs every once in a while for like hikes, and we stopped
That
off at one.
The small roads is something I noticed when we went to Pennsylvania last year. Yeah, those smaller or the like more country towns just are full of small, teeny tiny roads.
Well, it's not even, it's like a city.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's
even where we
pretty
were
And
big.
was city-like.
yeah, and like people, so they were technically, they were one-way streets, but they had two lanes. And people were just not
And there
following
was
the two
street
lanes thing. They
parking
would just drive down the middle.
because there was street parking on both sides. So sometimes you kind of did just have to drive through the middle. So it was kind of just like a weaving in and out
You're
of
just
each other
weaving.
situation.
You're just like wherever my car can go forward, that's where I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
pretty much.
it looked like a really nice place. It was very colorful. There's lots of
Yeah.
murals on all the
It
buildings.
it reminded me if you mix like San Francisco with like Philly.
Okay. I've never been to San Francisco, but I can
I
kind of
haven't
imagine.
either, but
Like,
I have seen
She's
what it
going
looks
off
like.
TV shows.
okay, just
Yeah.
vibes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Daniela, I'm curious though, why do you love Philly or Philadelphia? Like, what's your
Just
list?
Pennsylvania in
Or
Um,
sorry,
general.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
so it kind of just speaks to me. And it really is like a good like central state. Like it's close to like New York and DC and all of those things, plus Philly.
So you're saying like a good like close to New England versus the South or more South.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
we drove past a
specifically
sign
like
that
New
said you're
York City.
130 miles from New York City.
Yeah, like specifically like you're close to New York City, you're close to DC. Like you could be close to all three of those cities and not have to be like in any of them.
That's true.
And
And she
if you
likes
do want to
just
go to like England or something, you're a lot closer to fly there.
True.
and
And
I
it
think
and
just like
we've been there in multiple seasons now, and it's always just like so like beautiful.
pretty, lots
Yeah.
of farms,
And
lots
it's
of like farmers markets.
it's mountainy without being claustrophobic-y.
Yes,
Like it's more hilly than mountainy.
that is one of our issues. Like West Virginia, mountains are too high. You feel like you're
Like you can't
like stuck.
see anything. You're not
Yep.
going to see any type of sunrise or sunset until it's like already up in the sky. Like you're literally just like what's right next to you is what you can see. And
Okay.
as someone who did grow up in the Midwest, I don't really love that feeling. I like to
That's
see the
fair.
vastness of the world. That's part of the reason I love the ocean.
And you're
And
definitely
then
closer to the ocean in Pennsylvania than you are in Illinois.
Yeah.
yeah, so we were just like hanging out in the hotel, especially Sunday morning, just killing time until the wedding. And we were watching a lot of HGTV. It was like specifically they had like a Bargain Hunter International show where it's just all these people moving out of America because of how cheap it is to live in all these other places. And they're like, oh, why'd you pick this country? And they're like, oh, it just spoke to me. And Daniela was like, see?
I would not trust those people on HGTV because those people have basically weird jobs that don't make any sense and they can afford houses that are worth $2 million.
No, most of them were people just retiring from the military. And
Yeah, a lot
they
of
had
them
saved
were.
up like $100,000. And they're like, great, that'll buy you a 4-bedroom house here.
That
Have
would be
fun.
nice.
And then, like they would give the stats on how much cheaper it was to live in these countries
They
compared to
they
America. They're like, it's
do
half the
it based
price.
on they were doing it based on the city that the couple was coming from. So like one of the couples was
Mm.
coming from a city in Texas. So like they would say like based on what you would be paying in Texas for this where you were from, this is what you're getting here for that same price. Or like one of them was from New York City and they were like what you would be paying for
An apartment in New
what you would
York.
be paying for like
A
what's
box in
What's
New
the one
York,
without like even bedrooms where it's just like everything is one
a
thing?
A
studio.
studio.
This is what you would be paying for a studio apartment, but you can get a 4-bedroom over here.
Yeah,
Like that kind of thing.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
But then you, I mean, then you're living in a foreign country, which can, I mean, it has its benefits for sure. It's just a learning adjustment. And if you're not used to that country,
Yeah, most of these people were like living in the country and then they decided to relocate. They're like, we
got
just came here on vacation and decided not to leave.
how
Yeah, one of
nice.
them was in Mexico somewhere. I can't remember where. But she was like, I just went on vacation here and stayed,
Spain,
maybe.
Hmm.
I think
You know.
there was
But
like one,
it's kind of reminiscent of like our Uber driver in Hawaii.
yeah. Yeah, our Uber driver in Hawaii, he just went on vacation there and like while he was there on vacation, he quit his job and
Said I'm
like
Just
shipped
staying.
stayed.
his bought a car there and he was like, I'll just do Uber until I figure it out, but I just want to stay here.
He was like
Wow.
talking to our dad about it,
That's
and he was
great.
like, so that's what I did.
Good for him, I guess, if he can afford to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to live in Hawaii.
Yeah. I've never been, but I've heard it's beautiful.
So
Oh,
good.
it is. And the food. Never had better food in my life. We went like in March when we went. So I had memories come up recently,
Mm.
and like there were some pictures of our food, and I was like, oh, that was some of the best breakfast. I'm not a breakfast person, and like I'm looking at those pictures and like that was some of the best breakfast I've ever had. Or like the
Well,
pineapple there. The pineapple is like fresh from there. Like it's from Hawaii, so it's the freshest it'll be. And the pineapple was so good. Like I'm not even joking you. Like it
yeah,
was
I've heard.
the best
My mom went
pineapple
to
I've ever
Hawaii
had.
and went to the Dole plant, and she said it was good.
It's also the only place Daniela will eat seafood.
Yeah, I had coconut shrimp there, and I loved it. And then I tried it back when we got to this mainland, and I hated it. Like it's different. I
That
did
might be a
try a
little bit
fish.
of preparation.
I did try a fish dish. I didn't order it. My father ordered it, and I tried it. Didn't love it. But shrimp is something that I don't eat like normally. Like I don't like shrimp, but I
Yeah.
loved the coconut shrimp that was there.
Well, I'll be very interested to see if you do relocate in the future.
Mark, she hands
It
up.
Pennsylvania would be a great place to do a family compound.
Potentially.
I think we could potentially convince our friends from Tennessee to go there because it's hilly enough and it's similar vibes to Tennessee, but it's better.
So you want to move your
And
whole family and do a family and friends compound or a family
Mhm.
compound of friends?
And we were talking about this with
either.
one of our friends at the wedding, and she was like, "Oh, my family wants to do the same thing, and they already found a plot of land. We just need like $1 million."
Yeah,
If
it's her
I
and
was gonna say, if it's the
her.
friend I think of, she already wants to do that. So
Yeah, it's her,
We just need
her
to get enough
husband,
people
her
in on
mom, and her
it.
stepdad. And it's right near where her mom and stepdad already live. She said, right? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of close. So it's in that same area.
yeah, that's just particularly outside of Philly where we were, where our friend's family was from. It's just so remote for me.
That's what I
Girl,
want.
I didn't grow up.
that wasn't that
I
remote.
I grew up 45 minutes away from an airport, 30 minutes away from downtown city.
I also grew up 45 minutes away from an airport.
But like suburbs of a big city. Close to everything. Walmart, like less than 5 minutes away. Grocery stores in every direction you turn. A gas station, every direction you turn.
I just feel
Okay,
like that's
here's the thing
too
Danielle and I have
convenient.
talked about.
Like you don't need that level of convenience, I don't think.
I like options.
Here's the other thing. Usually, when you live in an area like that, yes, there is like a Target, Walmart, mall, all this stuff, like so many miles away from you. It's like 5 miles, 10 miles, something like that. But the amount of time you will spend sitting in your car at like a stoplight or just in traffic or whatever equates to how much time you would spend on the road driving from like your rural
It's
home
true.
to that store.
Maybe.
It does for us. We were comparing it to like back home.
Yeah, we were comparing it to back home, and it takes the same amount of time. And you're moving the whole time. It's worse when you're just sitting there.
I don't know. The smallest town I've ever lived in was my college town. And
That's a wild statement. Your college town was the
Yeah.
smallest town you lived in.
yeah.
College towns are not typically small.
Well, Manhattan, Kansas, where K-State is located. I mean, it's pretty far out of the, like, it's an hour away from Topeka, but usually you don't go to Topeka for anything. So, I mean, and it's not that small. Like it has a Walmart, it has a Target, it had two Dillons, you know. It was like a Hy-Vee. Like there was plenty of grocery stores and like shopping, but it wasn't massive what I was used to. Which I was talking with a friend who lives there now, and Manhattan is the biggest town that she's ever lived in. So we were comparing notes. Um, but yeah, Manhattan's the smallest town I've lived in.
I don't know what's bigger, Jillian.
I don't know what's the biggest.
What's bigger, Jillian? Our last place or this place?
Our last place combined like 4 cities into one.
Yeah. So that one's probably bigger.
It definitely covered a lot more ground.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So I don't know. It would be really hard for me to live like right now, I'm living more outside of a city. It takes and like it takes us 10 minutes to get to Walmart and Dillon's. And that's the farthest I would want to live from things like that.
Okay.
And it takes me like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to get to like the heart of everything, like shops and dining and convenient things. So
I guess I
also
just don't value convenience that highly.
Yeah. Well, for me, I also want to always be close to an airport because so much of my family doesn't live close to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's important to me is living close to an airport. Which
so much
is
of my
funny
family would drive 90% of the time than fly, so it doesn't matter where I live.
Well, unfortunately, my family, it would take days for my sister or my brother to drive here now because they live on opposite coasts.
Yeah, they did. They went all the way, like as far as you could go in each direction.
I have Washington and Massachusetts, and I live in Kansas.
Feels like that's their problem and not yours.
Yeah. But my mom probably could drive, and I actually did drive home this time when she came to visit. But anyways, living close to an airport is important. And then 2, I also think about like concerts and shows and things, like things I would want to see, only come to big places usually.
Yeah. Here was the great thing about where we grew up. It was close to Chicago, which is like big enough city, everything goes there.
Yeah.
And then there were places like just outside of Chicago that like also counted as those big venues that like because like you can only have something so big in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we just had like a really great location growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was special though.
But that would be the same thing with Pennsylvania.
Probably where our friend in Pennsylvania grew up, it'd be pretty close to all those big, like
that is true.
It'd be similar distance to what we grew up with, I'd think.
Like just outside of Philly. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. You'd have to convince my husband.
Don't you want to be with your friends?
Your husband works from home.
Work. That's another thing. If I'm working in government,
you're not that far from DC.
You won't work in Pennsylvania.
Well, no. It's just usually certain governmental offices that I would want to work for are located in bigger cities.
You're not that far from DC.
No, or you could work in Philly.
Yeah.
And commute.
Or you can live just outside our compound, if that's that important to you.
Yeah, you don't have to live in our
just
compound.
A little distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll let you come visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose.
Sounds grand. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it because we are discussing off campus this week, at least the first 5 episodes, because that is what y'all have watched. But first, let's introduce ourselves. Welcome to the Pocket Friends podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Miranda.
I'm Daniela.
And I'm Jillian.
And we love doing this. But this week, I gave y'all the assignment to watch Off Campus. And I know you were busy. You're doing things, you're moving. You have a wedding. You
We
had a
got halfway
wedding,
through it.
yeah, to go through, or you had a wedding to go to in a different state this weekend. So I understand you were busy, but I want to know so far, and I want to hear from Jillian first because you didn't read the book.
In typical
And
fashion, I'm the only one who hasn't read the book here.
well, Daniela, you've only read one book, right?
Right.
Okay.
I've only
So
read
yeah,
Graham.
yeah, you read Garrett's book. So, Jillian, I want to hear your opinion so far of the show and then Daniela's.
Okay. I wasn't loving it at first. It felt very predictable. And then they started to mix things up a little bit. Um, I didn't love the original deal that was made. Like that the purpose of her making the deal was to make this guy that she likes jealous, so he'll go out with her. Like that just why would you want to be in a relationship with that person? And then also your relationship is starting off with a lie. Like that just felt like a bad deal in the first place. So I wasn't loving that. Um, let's see. As far as the characters go, Allie kind of annoys me. She's like the best friend who's trying to help Hannah get out of her shell and everything, but she whines a lot. And I don't like Sean.
Yeah.
I'm glad they broke up. I think I like never understood why they kept saying Allie and Sean are soulmates. And like nothing about that relationship said this is a good idea. And then the fact that they've broken up multiple times apparently while
I
they've
think
been together.
there's this idea that some people have that if you keep finding your way back together, that means you're soulmates. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it depends on the context. Like if you dated in high school and reconnected later in life, different story than if you are in college and you just keep the cycle of get together, break up, get together, break up.
Yeah.
So like I don't know the other reasons they broke up, but the reason they broke up this time was because he basically called all her dreams stupid and he was like, you need to be realistic about the world and just come be my wife in Vermont and throw away all your dreams.
Yeah,
And I was like,
not a fan. Big
if
L for Sean.
I was her best friend, I would not be encouraging this relationship or going around talking about them as soulmates. Like, I don't know why they broke up in the past, but if this was a trend or like he had similar habits, I feel like that's just not being a good friend. But
You also have
anyway,
to remember that people do like tell selective truths in those types of situations.
I also do
Like
think that
even if it
Allie,
is her best friend, like I don't Allie might not have told the whole story.
yeah, and Allie can be very dramatic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, she's drama made, like it's her being. So I can also take, envision Hannah being like, oh, she's just adding drama to this. While still
Yeah,
trusting her best friend, but also taking it with
take
like a
it with a
little,
grain of salt.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Out of
Who's
the
your favorite
hockey
character?
boys, um, maybe Logan.
Okay.
Logan or Tuck. I was getting so mad at Jules this past episode, the Thanksgiving episode,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, Tuck is just trying to pull off this Thanksgiving. He like this is his first time going solo, cooking everything. Just be supportive and help him. And instead, Jules is like stealing marshmallows and she's like trying to make chaos. And I'm like, you're being mean. Why are we doing this to him? He's already stressing out. Why are we being like this?
Yeah. I will
So
say Jules is non-binary, so just for reference. Um, yeah, Jules is an interesting addition from the books that I will
I
talk
didn't
about.
think she was in the books.
Um, no, in the books, Logan has a brother, an older brother. who's not really, he's kind of part of the story, but not really part of the story, and not at all in the way that Jules is. Like they completely made up Jules's character. So I think it was really to add to like help the plot along in some areas and maybe even show some of Logan's home life, history, his thoughts. Like Jules, I think, was the first person to call out that he has a crush on Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was to like bring some of that out, as well as like
Hmm.
develop Garrett and Hannah's fake dating romance.
Yeah, I got the whole point about the blog that
Yeah.
like they need that to be like for Hannah and Graham to be official. Um, as far as Logan, I thought he and Hannah were gonna have something going on. I did not expect Hannah and Garrett to get together in
So
episode 4.
quick.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see what you think as the show as you watch the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, I also
Um,
really don't like Justin.
yeah, that's fair.
I also don't like, this is a little off topic. Apparently he's like top of the list kind of fan favorite for Fourth Wing for Xaden.
Yeah.
In what world does he meet the character description of Xaden?
Garrett is, right?
No,
No,
Justin.
the guy who plays
The guy who
Justin,
plays Justin.
Which one is Justin?
The
the
singer
singer.
that
Oh,
she has the
oh,
crush on.
yeah. No, I don't like that. I saw today people saying Garrett for it, and I
Well, that's
still don't.
fan cast. That's what people want, but there's actually like
Right.
speculation because I think he's posted
He was
like
at
that
an
he read the
event.
book. Yeah, he was at an event. He also has like a dragon in his bio. So like there's hints that he's at least involved.
I like him for Bodhi. I've heard he would that people have also said they like him for Bodhi, and I like that's fine. But he is not Xaden. I truly don't know if there is an actor that meets
I don't think
the
there will
Xaden
be. There
requirements,
won't
but
be. And I actually saw this today. I saw someone say that for these like high profile shows, like what we saw actually with the Boys of Tommen, they need to just not announce the cast. Just
Yeah.
hide it, make it secret, and play a trailer so that we can actually
Yeah.
see them in those characters. Because when they announce the cast this early and have nothing to show for it, people are so judgmental.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I won't truly believe someone is Xaden until I see them acting like Xaden.
Well,
Yeah.
also like the outfit and like the tattoos and a lot has to do with like how I picture Xaden.
Yeah.
So like until that's there, it's really hard to see it.
I the height difference is very important for me with Fourth Wing. And he is like 5'8".
He definitely looks short next to the other boys.
Wow. Which is not Xaden.
Okay, okay, okay.
Anywho,
Back
back
to
to
off
off
campus.
campus.
Daniela,
Uh,
I want to hear from you now. What did you think?
I'm actually enjoying the other storylines more, like the ones
Dean
that
and
I hadn't
Allie.
read. Yeah, specifically Dean and Allie.
Yeah,
I will say Dean definitely grew on me. Like, especially with the talk that he gave Garrett about, like,
consent.
yeah, and all that stuff. Like, because I was like, oh, he's just like this douche guy who's they're all just trying to hook up with as many girls as they possibly can. And I was like, okay, he's getting some credit.
That's, yeah. Anything else, Daniela, before I give my two thoughts on it?
Um, there was like Hannah's mom called her,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just way more like cheery than it would have been in the book, I feel like. Because like her mom and dad are like really struggling. Like
Yeah.
they can hardly afford their house. They're like really like everybody's kind of upset that they're not going to be able to see each other at Thanksgiving because they couldn't afford to go to her aunt's or whatever, wherever they go. And like her parents really are like have a lot going on. Like the whole town is against them. And like her mom was like talking about how like she had friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like her mom didn't have friends in the book because the whole town turned against their family.
Yeah.
So when did the rape happen?
High school.
Was
When
it,
she was in
I
high
know it was in
school.
high school, but which year? Like how far
I
away
think it
was
was like
this
her
event?
sophomore, junior year. So
Yeah, I'm not
it's been a few
100% sure.
years. It wasn't
It,
like she's not a freshman.
yeah.
She's a
It would have
junior.
been like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I think it was her junior year that it happened.
But like her parents spent like all their money on like court fees and like lawyers and
Well,
stuff in the
yeah.
book.
So what happened in the book, and I agree, this is like a huge thing for me, is that they've made a lot of changes actually. Like I almost have to divorce the two because it
Mm-hmm.
is so different than the book. Um, and some of the changes I'm like, whatever, makes sense actually. And then some of them I'm like, I like the book version of this. Like the book version of this explained this a lot better. Like what you were
Yeah.
saying about the deal in the book was more on Justin was a football player and was in a certain social circle. And so, in order for Hannah to even be noticed, she needed to have some kind of elevated popularity and be within that circle that Garrett Graham was. And so, the deal was he would date her to elevate her so that she would be noticed by him, not to make him jealous.
Yeah, and I think that they changed him to a singer to like make him like make more scenarios where they would be in the same space. But then
Yeah.
that also is kind of like backhanded because the point of their deal in the book is that she wouldn't be in the same spaces as him typically. So he
Yeah.
wouldn't
And they
ever notice
also,
her.
the singing thing, they took away. So in the book, she was also already in a group to do this showcase.
Yeah.
And um, what happens is that basically the two, the song, and she is more of a performer in the book. She's a
Yeah.
singer-songwriter, and that's
Okay.
like her degree path. And so she's singing with this other person, and the person who actually composed the piece and the other person get together, kick her out, and then she's stuck having to do her own thing for the showcase.
Well,
And
and
the
like in the book
scholarship,
it's a lot of like a conflict because her partner in the singing contest is like kind of a like
a jerk.
D-bag
Yeah.
and like is constantly like trying to change it to like make him the focal point and her like a background piece essentially. And he only picked her because she was like one of the best singers in the class or whatever and like just wanted that to elevate his chances and then like it's just putting her in the background the whole time. And so
Yeah.
she's like fighting with that of like trying to like keep it true to its original piece and then like she is friends with the composer girl but then the composer girl is like in love with the other guy but he like doesn't notice her or is only nice to her when and like flirts with her when he wants to get her way with the performance. And so like she's dealing with that and like she is all at the same time like then confiding in Garrett about this stuff eventually.
Yeah, which I don't mind them changing all that because honestly, that was a very unimportant part, I felt like,
Yeah.
of the entire plot. But the important part, I think, was the whole reason behind why she needs to win the showcase or the whatever pop. It does have to do with a scholarship, but in the show, she's losing her scholarship and then can't afford next semester. Well, in the book, she doesn't necessarily need to win to keep going in school. It's the fact that her parents have no money because of everything that happened with the rape. And she is working herself to death with all these extra jobs to ease the burden of her college tuition on them because she feels so guilty. But going back to like in the book about the what happened when she was younger is So the guy who raped her was the mayor's son. And the mayor's son, they like charged him, went through this whole thing. He was found, either the charges were dropped, dismissed, whatever, or he was found not guilty. I think the charges were dismissed. And then his family sued her family for defamation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And the court didn't necessarily side with them, but found her family responsible for his attorney's fees. And so they
Yeah,
had
so
to
not
not
only
only
were they
pay
paying their
their,
attorney fees, they were paying for whatever top lawyer the mayor had hired.
yes. Plus, when she did go back for Thanksgiving, like her freshman year, her and her dad had gone to a store. Some of the other, there's men at the store. They made some nasty comments about her and her lying, like him and like his lying daughter and stuff like that. And her dad attacked them and got arrested and got charged with battery. So the town really hates their family, but they are in
Yeah.
such financial debt that they can't get out. They can't sell their house. Her parents are working whatever jobs they can find in the town just to survive and to try and pay off their debt,
Yeah.
which none of that is explained in the show, and I feel like
Mhm.
I was really missing that.
Yeah.
Is it even a part of the show? Because she did explain that he's the mayor's son. We tried to go after him, and then all his friends testified against me.
They they kind of did it in the show, like they touched on that, some of that, but not necessarily the extent of like why she so desperately needs this scholarship.
Yeah,
Right.
but I was like, is her parents' financial situation even that dire in the series? Or have they cut that out?
Apparently not. I'll
I'm
wait.
also
You guys,
confused
I think you need to
on
get a little farther in the show.
I'm also confused on why we're trying to get a scholarship at the spring showcase when she's trying to get this scholarship to pay for the spring semester.
Yeah, that's unclear to me. If is it the spring showcase?
I might be wrong, but I thought that's what it was.
I think it's just the pop showcase and it seems to
Oh.
end. But then they had Thanksgiving. So unclear.
Yeah. I also I'm like, what is even the point of Justin's character anymore? Because she was like talking with him before she officially decided she wanted to be with Garrett. And she was like asking him what he felt about like what did the song make you feel? And he was like jealous that I didn't write it first. Like he doesn't have that connection with music. And so then I was kind of like, if your professor keeps telling you you need to like connect with the music, why are you continuing to work with this guy who's proven to you he doesn't connect with the music?
Yeah. Honestly, that her sticking with him and like trying to like make it work is probably just her being like, I feel like I can't do this on my own. Not
Yeah.
necessarily because she feels like he connects with the music or
Yeah,
is
it's more
gonna
of a
really help her do
confidence
that.
issue than anything.
Yeah. Um, but let me see. There was something else that was kind of big. Oh, in the books, Hannah or Allie knows about the rape the whole time. Like she's told her from the very beginning. And Allie's always very sensitive about her not wanting to go to parties, her not wanting to drink in public, and like still tries to encourage her to go out, which I feel like Allie not necessarily know, like she knows, but Hannah, hasn't exactly told her in the show, or you don't really know, but like Allie
I
seems at
thought
least
that she just
sensitive.
said that it was like a close friend.
Yeah. So like she knows that Hannah is like sensitive to those things and is still like trying to
Yeah.
encourage her to go out. So like that's a change that it didn't matter to me. It wasn't such a huge part. Oh, there's another huge part that we'll talk about next week. a big change that I didn't like.
Is there any change to Garrett's family, or is that all consistent?
In
Up
the
to
book, he is not marrying Cindy. They just are dating, and they're he's like coming to meet the girlfriend for the first time. Um,
but all the like abuse and stuff is
The
just
abuse.
the abuse is, I feel like the show, and I'm not sure if I'm just not getting this. I'm kind of curious about what you guys think, but in the books, it was very clear that his dad was also abusing Garrett.
yeah.
And in the show, I only got the sense that he watched his mom be abused, but necessarily wasn't abusing him.
No, in the
He had that
Thanksgiving episode, he
conversation with
says,
Hannah in the car, and she asked if he hit him too, and he didn't verbally respond, but he
but
said
he broke
yes.
down and started crying.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he said, what I found interesting, I know this is okay. Was it always the same that the guy who raped Hannah was a hockey player?
No.
Because
Mm-mm.
I found that interesting that Garrett seems to connect like violent bad behavior and things to hockey. And he was like, I would be so happy if hockey disappeared tomorrow, and that he's worried about turning into his dad and like abusing people.
That was never. It was kind of something he thought about in the books, but it wasn't such a big thing in the book that he was worried about turning into his dad. Um, yeah. That was definitely more of a show thing. But in the book, you hear a lot more about, I think also the show was kind of like Garrett went away to boarding school as soon as his mom died, so I think he got away from a lot of it. In the book, he didn't. He grew up with that, and basically
Yeah.
his dad only
Mhm.
stopped abusing him when he hit him back, when he was old enough and big enough to hit him back.
Yeah.
So their relationship was far worse in the book. Like, they didn't speak at Thanksgiving. There was no any sort of cordial behavior. Like, Garrett didn't say a word pretty much the whole time. Was only
Yeah.
there because his dad threatened to stop paying his tuition and his house and all of the things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Garrett is like in the whole book there is like this inner turmoil about that his dad is paying for everything, and like he wants, like, as soon as he can, he wants to like give his dad that money so that he doesn't feel any sort of
Yeah.
connection at all.
In the book, there's a
Ties.
deadline. His grandparents, his mom's parents left him a trust fund, and which
Yeah.
he gets access to at 21, which he turns 21 in the January after that Thanksgiving. And so
Okay.
he's just waiting for him to turn 21 so he can write his dad a check for everything he's ever given him and be done with him and say, you are no longer in my life.
Yeah.
So I want to talk more about that next week because it really plays into something that happens in the second half of the show. And a big change that was made from the show to the book. So we'll talk more about that next week. I think a couple other little things is that I really appreciate seeing more of Allie. And actually, again, more of this next week, but I'm appreciating seeing kind of the cracks of Allie's relationship and kind of the introduction of her and Dean more into this season because in the books, all 4 books happen within 1 year. And so there's some overlapping stories.
So who are all the books?
You don't know the other 2 girls yet, except for one is mentioned. There's obviously Garrett and Hannah, Allie and Dean, Grace and Logan, and Sabrina and Tucker. Grace, have you guys watched the karaoke scene?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or no, not the karaoke scene. The auction. Has that come up yet?
No.
Okay. Well, this is like a small part, and you wouldn't even notice it if you didn't know. But Grace Ivers wins one of the auction items when they have this auction night in the show, and that is the name of the girl that Logan ends up with. Now you don't see her or anything, but it's just a fun
A draw. Yeah.
little drop. They have some other fun little ones too. Like in the book, Hannah is weirdly obsessed with One Direction.
Yeah.
And I think that they couldn't really get the rights to use any of One Direction
And
music.
then the teacher like said something about One Direction.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
trying to put
I
these
I
little
did catch
bits.
I did catch that one. I was like, that's
Yeah.
that's a nod to the book.
Yeah. That's a nod to the book. And then two, instead of music, which Hannah and Garrett kind of do bond over music a little bit in the book, but they especially bond watching Breaking Bad together.
Yeah. I do like I get why they couldn't do it in the show, but
Yeah.
like that is like such like a thing in the book, and like how part of the reason they got so comfortable with each other is because they were always like after they would study they would watch Breaking
Episodes
Bad
of
like
Breaking
in
Bad.
his room on his bed.
Yeah.
So is Dirty Dancing the fill-in for Breaking Bad?
No. I feel like Dirty Dancing was just kind of random.
Yeah.
But they did show in one of the scenes when Hannah's on her computer, she has Breaking Bad open on a tab. So they tried to nod to that. Um, trying to think of other nods that I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, but I haven't caught all of them. I literally started watching episode 1 again last night, and 10 minutes in, and I have 6 notes about all the things that are different. I do feel like Garrett's character is different. Garrett seems very more full of himself in the show. Like very confident,
Yeah.
very
Well,
like
he's already drafted to an NHL team. Well, he's still got 2 years left in college.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's good. I just was kind of interested because like especially right when he like sees that she got an A and is like going out there and being like, you're gonna help me, you're gonna tutor me.
Yeah.
And I wrote down the quote like, you kind of owe me for your sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
Or for the sneak peek. Like he is just very confident in
That
himself.
didn't happen in the book, did it?
No. I mean,
I
he
didn't
is
think
very
so.
confident in his skills and his
No,
abilities in the book.
I mean the locker room scene.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. But I mean, that's an addition. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
did think just in the first episode, I was like, we have started off with a lot of nudity. Where is this going?
Yeah.
I did know. I was like, there was the masturbation that's in the book, but like it's so much more awkward to watch it than to read it.
I think any of those scenes are going to be more awkward to film.
Okay, they
Yeah.
do make it worse though in the camera work. They're zooming in on just weird parts. Like they just zoomed in on his
Yeah.
abs during that scene. I was like,
And the toes.
we
Yeah,
didn't
I
need
pointed
that.
out the toes. I was like, why do we keep panning to the toes?
Oh, do you want
And
to
then
hear something funny? Sorry, go ahead, Jillian, actually.
and that we noticed that like in the first 2 episodes too. Just like a lot of weird camera work where they would
Mhm.
like split the screen, or they had one where they literally zoomed all the way in on Hannah's eye. And I was like, you can't get any closer to her. What is this doing for me?
That's funny. I heard for that scene in particular, I was watching an interview with the two of them, and they filmed all day long, and they got every shot except for apparently his finish. And he had to come back on a later day by himself and film that.
Oh, that's
Is
really
it better or
awkward.
worse to have to do that by
I
yourself?
I don't know, but it
I feel like
sounded
there's a little
awkward.
camaraderie when you're doing it together.
Yeah, at least you have another person who is just as
When
uncomfortable as you.
when they had
Right.
the like sex montage after they got together, um, Danielle and I were like, did they just like film all this in one day? Because it's literally like
I was like,
Hannah's
did
in the
they
same
just
bra
have
the whole time.
I was like, did they just have one day of like filming sex scenes? Because she was always like had like something of the same outfit on. And I was like, were they just like kind of not like taking that particular detail
That's the
like
potential, but
accidentally?
I mean, realistically, I don't wear that many different bras. So,
It
It was an orange bra though. Like you
yeah.
have more than that.
was also the like black lace one with flowers
Hmm.
There's that
that
one
she was
too.
always
Yeah.
in.
Someone did say, and you see some more of this later on, but Allie in her lingerie, and someone's like, there is no way these girls would be affording these sets and having all different sets in college. That's unrealistic.
I also thought it was
Yeah.
really funny that they were sharing like corsets and stuff like that. When I was like, you guys are not in the same cup size at
No,
all.
No.
no.
That'd be like you trying to share with Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They are quite different sizing, that's for sure. Which
I
is,
did think about that when she like wore the corset to the karaoke thing. And I was like, if that was actually Allie's, that would not have fit her. Like not in a rude way, but like in a very
Yeah,
realistic way, that would
just
not have fit her.
those are two different categories of boobs.
Yeah.
though it would have been funny to see it then later on Allie to see like how different body types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been like, she looks like this when she wears it. She looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. Um, what else was I thinking? Oh, the training montage in the first episode. All the boys.
Hmm. Also bad camera work.
Oh, I thought it was perfection.
I said this
No.
is just a thirst
I
trap.
liked it.
It was. It
I
was just a thirst trap. But
It
once
was filmed
again,
for that purpose.
they were just
I
zooming
didn't hate
in
it, but they were zooming
on
in on
weird
awkward
parts.
like too much on certain parts. Like it's
I'm
just
like,
that we're doing too much
just give me a
zoom.
wide shot.
Yeah, there
Okay.
were
Let me
some
see
like
them all. I
shots
don't
that
need
they
to
were
see the biceps on just one.
yeah, there were some shots that they did that I was like, this would just be better if like I could see more.
Yeah. Okay, you might disagree with me on this, but I, rewatching it back, really actually liked, and now, caveat, like, there was a lot of nudity in this, but the difference, like, when they were doing, when he's having sex with Kendall, and she's at home, like, trying to write,
That was a funny comparison.
Yeah.
yeah, like, I liked the
Yeah.
scene by, like, the shot
I
lineup.
do. I like that when they're in different locations.
Yes. What one of the ones that I hated was when they're sharing the bedroom for the first time and they're both end up on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're talking to each other and it starts out as like a wide view, like from above. You can see both of them and you can see the bed in between them. And I liked that. And then all of a sudden we go to a split screen where you're zoomed in on both of them. And I was like, I feel like it just would have a little bit more impact if we were actually seeing the distance between them.
Maybe. I'd have to see it both ways, I think.
It would be similar to like the Summer I Turned Pretty scene when it's both of them on the sides of her. And then you can like I don't know. I just think that would have been better, personally.
In the book, now here's the thing. I want to know what you think is more realistic. In the book, she just is like, now, okay, first of all, it's a king size bed in the book. So,
Mhm.
a lot of room. But they just get over it and they like put pillows in between the two of them and say, okay, we'll sleep in the same bed, whatever. In the show, it's a smaller bed, so they, decide neither of them will sleep on it. Which do you think is more realistic?
Well, in the book,
The pillow wall.
I think that it was also like he slept on a different level of the covers than she did.
I kind of liked that in the show. It was like a pride thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it was like
I didn't hate it in the show that they did
I thought it was really
end up on
funny.
the floor.
I
Yeah.
was like, it would be so funny if they cut to the both of them on the floor right now. Nobody in the bed. And that's what they did. And I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did appreciate that they did eventually end up in the bed together because they like did sleep in the same bed in the book.
Yeah. And they ended up cuddling.
Yeah.
I also didn't understand their duo outfit at first.
I totally thought he was a vampire. And I was like, what is the
I
duo
knew
to
it.
Dracula? But was that in the book?
No.
No,
Oh.
I knew it. I was like, he's
No,
a
I was
magician.
like, I
She's
was
a bunny.
racking my brain. I was like, who is Dracula's buddy? Like, what goes with Dracula?
Yeah. I was like, why is she a bunny and why is he a vampire? Like,
It was
I
it was
had
pretty
no
funny, and
idea.
I did like that the whole party commented on it, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, he's not a vampire."
Um,
I got it before Jillian like said something out loud. I'm like, he's a magician.
well, I am proud of you for getting that because a lot of people missed the point. They're like, who are these two? Allie though, her outfit was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Even J
Yeah.
Lo has commented on her outfit.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I also think
I did really like that scene. I am just like really liking the other characters that I didn't read their books. I'm preferring their storylines in the show to Garrett and Hannah, who I read. And
yeah.
I think that that's just because I have nothing to like associate them with.
I think you both will eventually I think you'll like Allie and Dean a lot more next episode because next episode is a lot of Allie and Dean and you'll hear more about that. But you'll like Allie and Dean, you'll like Sabrina or not Sabrina, you'll like Grace and Logan. I'm so curious about what they do with Sabrina and Tucker because that was my least favorite. And a lot of people's least favorite.
I think Logan is my favorite character so far.
He can be frustrating to me. Like he can be so aggressive. Does that make sense?
I haven't seen him be aggressive.
Maybe not aggressive. That's not the right word. I don't know. There's again something that happens that I don't like in the second half. And I also know a little bit of his like backstory. And like you guys kind of know from his from Thanksgiving, like his mom is in rehab,
Mm-hmm.
which is also different than in the book. In the book, his dad is the alcoholic, and his mom
It
is
doesn't
just
sound like he has a dad.
yeah. Maybe they switched it from mom to dad because in the book he doesn't have a mom or his mom's died, I think, or just isn't around, and he has a dad that is an alcoholic and has to take care of.
Sounds like they just
So
switched in a little Uno River.
yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, oh my gosh, do all of their dads suck? Like, are they in a dad suck club? Um, but
More
I think
bad
it really,
dads.
I think it is Garrett's dad who's just the worst. It is hard to see, gosh, what's his name? Steve Howie?
No idea. His name's Van.
Okay, Van Montgomery. It's hard to see Van Montgomery play a bad guy.
Yeah, I think that every like I'm like especially because I did read the book. I'm like I know he's like a terrible person, but I love Van.
I know.
I think he pulls it off.
I mean, he can, but like, I'm like, no,
It's just like
Van,
weird.
come on.
It just feels weird because I'm like, no, you're Van.
I feel like he plays the new captain in High Potential, who
Mhm.
is kind of like you're not really sure which way he's going. He's
Yeah,
good or bad. So I feel like that bridged the gap for
Okay,
me.
it does bridge it a little bit. Yeah,
interesting. I need to add that to my list of watch.
yeah, it's so good.
Let me see. I also wrote some down things that I wanted to mention, and now I've forgotten everything.
I'm so proud of you for being able to write things down while you watch TV.
Oh, in the book, instead of kissing Logan, she's supposed to kiss Dean. But I actually think it was smart for them to have her kiss Logan to really show that Logan has a crush on her.
Yeah, did he have the crush on her in the book?
Oh, in the weight
Mhm.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a crush on her. Though you kind of realize why in his book why he has a crush on her. And that it's not necessarily to do with Hannah.
Isn't it that like he wants what Graham has? Garrett
Yeah,
has?
I think it's more of like the stability and like someone to like build a life with and stuff like that.
I do think it was funny though that like him and Logan, Garrett and Logan had that moment where like they're at the rink and Logan's like, "Oh, you don't get everything that you want." And then like right after that, he gets the girl. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well,
Yeah.
that didn't last." I thought there was going to be some like character growth or he was going to
There's some character growth
he
later.
was going to struggle.
Oh, another change. In the books, their coach does not let them skate by when it comes to academics. Does not let them get special treatment,
Yeah.
does not talk to professors for them. You have to keep up with your classes or you don't play.
Yeah.
And I don't like the change that they've had in the books or in the show where it's Garrett who's kind of leading the charge on like, no, I don't want the special treatment.
Yeah.
I think that was good though because it showed his character. And like that also was a way to like distinguish himself from his dad. I feel like.
Yeah, I get that. I just didn't like the way that it made the coach. Like the coach is like a lot cooler and a lot more important in the books. And I don't like the coach now in the show.
He doesn't show up that much in the show.
No.
Also, I
Yeah,
do
I
think that is
didn't-
extremely
I don't-
realistic based on my experience with it.
Yeah, I don't hate that change because it does give Graham more like integrity.
Okay. Good to know what your thoughts are. There are honestly so many little changes. Like even just little changes. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the show, there's a retake exam instead of like the next project. I think that's a good change though, because it's more realistic to college of like you're not going to get a chance to retake an exam. You're just going to have to do better on the next thing. So I liked that change. Um, I think that's really it for now. Honestly, I might have to rewatch the last 3 episodes. However, yeah, 3
Three.
episodes
Three.
just to remember all the little things. But there is something really big coming that is a huge difference that I want to talk about next week in reserve or whenever we get to do the podcast again with y'all's schedules.
Plus, that like a little sparse next time.
Yeah,
We could probably
that's okay.
still do it next week though on
Yeah, we
the same
can.
time.
Okay. Well, we'll
We
do
can
our
probably do it
podcast.
next week. The week after, probably not.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
the
we'll
week
take a
after
little
there's a lot of
midsummer.
moving pieces.
Maybe we'll take a little midsummer break or
You mean
early
beginning of
summer
summer break?
break. Huh?
Beginning of summer break?
Beginning of summer break, and then we'll come back when we're all more established into your next homes. Okay, well, do we want to do book recommendations, Jillian?
Sure. So
Explain.
it has been asked of me that we give some book recommendations that are not of the depressing romance category, which apparently the off-campus books kind of also fall into the depressing romance category of just like everybody has a really rough backstory. So it was also asked that we steer away from romance a little bit. Like fantasy is still fine, all the other stuff's fine. So I would recommend. I think Throne of Glass stays out of the it's more of a young adult, so it stays out of the romance a
I
little
would
bit.
agree.
Fun little, haven't read it all. Really like the first one, wanted to continue, but you guys made me stop.
There's just so many other
Fantasy,
interesting things.
adventure, fun story. I would also say the Nightingale book. It is on my to read list, but I have heard from a lot of people who read it that it's really good.
Daniela, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think White Lark also falls into that category of
Yeah.
fantasy without too much romance. There is like a love triangle, but it's not like it's more like just about the main character and what she has to do to basically survive.
Okay.
And any of the Hunger Games books.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Hunger Games. Yeah, I was going to say Hunger Games too. I would also throw in there's this book series, it's completed. It's a 4-book series called An Ember in the Ashes. There's a romance component to it, but it's mostly fantasy world building. Yeah, it's more on that side. Now, a friend of ours read it and she said that at times it made her blood pressure spike and that she got really stressed out about it. I didn't feel the same way, so I don't know what that says about me. So just cautionary, I guess, that there are very exciting parts to it.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's a big romance component to this one, but I highly, highly, highly recommend the Kindred's Curse saga, starting with Spark of the Everflame. Spark of the Everflame's more YA, more introductory, gives you a lot of backstory, and then you really get into the meat of it with Glow and Heat of the Everflame. But the last book is coming out in September, and it's the conclusion of the series, and it is so good. I really, really like it. Fantasy, romantasy, but more fantasy, I feel like.
Okay. So those are a few recommendations.
What'd you say, Danielle?
What else do you have?
Well, those were all like fantasy ones. So if you want something else, I haven't read it, but it's on our TBR, Lessons in Chemistry. And
Yes.
It's about like 1960s gender inequality in the science world.
Yeah, that one's kind of sad though.
18 Steps? 19 Steps?
The Millie Bobby Brown book.
Yeah. That's like a World War II book.
I had a potentially mystery series, but I feel like they're all a little they're all a little depressing in some way. So, not gonna recommend that. There's some books I wouldn't recommend. I just really like romantasy, apparently.
Yeah, I read a lot of romance, so it's kind of hard for me to. That's typically what I gravitate towards.
Yeah, same. Oh, don't. If you don't want to bawl your eyes out, do not read The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. Don't do it.
I do want to read that one.
If you want a really good cry, great book.
Every
That
Rebecca
one's
Yarros book will make you
That
cry.
that
one
one's time
particularly.
period.
Huh?
That one's time period,
No.
or just like current day.
It's current day. It's about, how do I explain this? This woman who has two kids, who has twins when she's young. She's married to someone, but he's a not good person. Gets pregnant with twins. He leaves her. She's forced to raise the twins on her own and starts running her family's like she runs this like beautiful cabin situation in Colorado. Her brother is a military guy, special ops, off at war, is supposed to come back and help her when he's done. He dies, and his best friend there comes to help her because he promised his buddy that if something ever happened to him, he would go help her. She wants nothing to do with him and doesn't even really know all the details about how they're connected. Um, and then they kind of fall in love. But there's some heavy stuff that happens in there. So that's romance for sure. I can tell you what I'm currently reading. It's romantasy.
Shocker.
Well, I'm actually reading a few things. I'm reading When the Moon Hatched. That's like my number one right now. It's super popular because the second book just came out yesterday. So, trying to read that.
I
Just
simply do not
finished.
know how people read more than one book at a time.
It just depends what mood I'm in
My
or
brain
what
could
I'm
not.
doing. So, the Spark of the Everflame, I'm listening to the Fantasy Fangirls podcast review on that so that I'm ready for book 4. So, like, when I'm just doing things, I have the podcast on. Like, getting ready in the morning or doing the dishes or whatever. I have that on. So, I'm, like, listening to the book, kind of. I'm listening to their deep, deep review of the book. And then I also have an audiobook. And I have a physical book that I'm reading, too. I'm starting Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yay! That will make you cry.
I will start a few books at a time, and then one of them sticks, and then I'm in that book or that series until it's done.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I just read things. I also finally put the sixth Boys of Tommen book on hold. So I'll get that in a few weeks. And I'll cry. Okay, last thing of this episode. Let's do our hot takes. Our opinion on these hot takes. I only have 7
My
of them.
camera dies because I have 10% battery.
Okay, we'll do it quick. Number 1, water isn't wet.
Yes, it's wet.
Yes, it's wet.
I just think that's such a funny one. I'm like, what do you mean it's not wet?
And the theory is that water isn't wet, it just makes things wet.
Yeah.
But how can it make things wet if it isn't
But
wet
that's
itself?
like, I don't know, candy isn't sticky, it just makes you sticky. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think you can apply to that kind of train of thought. Okay,
Slippery
here's one,
slope.
Jillian. People who aren't kids or have kids shouldn't be watching children's shows.
False.
Disagree.
I kind of think that one's funny.
What are your thoughts on that, Miranda?
It's interesting. I don't necessarily want to watch a whole bunch of children's shows, but I do think that there's some value in watching them, even if you don't have kids.
Well, and I also think like they say shows, but also under that category would fall like movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Like if you
There's
think that you
Disney.
can't watch children's shows, then you also would probably fall under the assumption that you can't watch children's movies, and that's
Yeah.
like Disney.
Yeah. Or like I watched K-pop Demon Hunters because it was this huge cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Cheese doesn't add much to dishes.
False.
I think it's true, but I can't eat it.
you just think it's true because it's not on any of your meals,
Yeah.
True.
but you miss
But you
it.
miss it.
I do miss it. I do
So
miss
it
cheese.
added
Therefore, it
something.
does add to the dish.
Okay, here's one that I agree with. Spotify is the best streaming music platform.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. I wish Apple Music was better because then all my, like, everything I've bought on iTunes would be together with my music. But
Probably.
the playlist situation on Apple Music is just not as good as Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you and Mom shared Apple Music and you don't even have the same like playlist whatsoever of like the
Yeah.
recommended or whatever it is. Leave me
Yeah, that
alone.
makes things confusing when you share. Skinny jeans look horrible on men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say there's a huge difference between skinny jeans and fitted jeans.
Yeah.
Skinny
Yeah.
jeans,
Like the super skinny jeans that all the boy bands were wearing back in
Yeah.
the 2010s. Bad.
I don't think they just make your legs kind of look chicken legsy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thursdays are better than Fridays.
No.
No.
I used to think Thursdays
Why?
used to be my favorite day of the week.
Why? What was the appeal?
I think it was because I really liked school.
We still
don't
have school
know.
on Friday.
Yeah, but like Thursdays were like almost Fridays. And Fridays could be like
Then
really
wouldn't Friday be
Thursdays
better?
I really just don't want to be Friday, so Fridays are better.
I don't know. I don't remember really what my reasoning was, but I just remember I really liked Thursdays growing up.
Okay.
Okay, here's the last one. If you fly everywhere, you aren't really traveling.
No.
No.
I think the theory behind
Like,
that is
if
that you're not
you're-
really seeing the world if you just fly to one destination.
But if you're getting out and doing things when you fly there, you're
still went to
seeing
that
that part
place.
of the world.
Right.
Okay, so we
You don't have
disagree.
to hike
As long as you're not claiming that you saw cities you flew over.
Or like you were just in the
Yeah.
airport and you're like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
like
count
if you had
that.
a layover. Like I had a layover in
Vegas.
Vegas. But I haven't been to Vegas.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
been to the Vegas
Well,
airport.
we disagree with most of these hot takes then.
Wow.
So we're in the norm.
Yes, we are normal. We are normal people. I do agree that Spotify is the best streaming platform, though. Your streaming
Yeah.
music platform.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next week we'll be back with more off campus. We'll talk about the Canada Grand Prix. Thank goodness
Whoop, whoop.
F1 is back. I feel like we keep
boys are
saying
back.
that. F1 needs to be back in its regular schedule programming.
This is the regular schedule. We just had a big break.
It feels wrong. We're going weeks between races. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll have that, and then we'll also talk about more hot takes. But until then, goodbye.
Bye.
Hi.